So my granddad passed away on the day I was supposed to get married, 28th December. And this man, let me just tell you about him. He was a very, very good man. Came from India, moved over to Africa, Kenya, worked very, very hard to bring him and his family over to the UK where they lived and thrived. And now I'm here, a first generation, like born in the UK Indian kid, right? I'm not a kid anymore, but like, you understand what I'm saying? Now, he lived a fantastic life. He lived a life that I'm very, very proud of. When I would speak to him, he had very good English because he used to work with like the army, I believe. And so he was like around a lot of English people, so he can pick up the language very well. And he would tell me things about like his life, about how he went to boarding school, how he hardly saw his dad when he was growing up, how like he just wanted it to be proud of him, his family, like me, talking to me, and like by what we do, make the family proud and such things like that, right? He's a very wise man, funny as well, like really, really funny guy. And yeah, loved him very much. And the thing is, he was like a bit before his time, before its time, but I really wish that he became a YouTuber, or to not be a YouTuber, but just to upload videos to somewhere so that I could now look at them and be like, that's my granddad. Because I was scrolling through a video the other day and he was in it and he was smiling, and like it was just a quick little sequence of him, and I didn't hear his voice, but like he was just there. I think I probably have got videos of his voice as well, which is like fantastic, the time we live in. But it's very like short snippets on his birthday when he just like, you know, saying thanks to people for coming and stuff like that. Very little short things, which is beautiful. I can still hear his voice, it's fantastic. But he had a lot of wisdom in him, and he had lived a very eclectic life. And it would have been fantastic if he recorded videos like this, if like in his time this type of technology was available, like YouTube cameras, and him being able to know how to use it as well, to upload videos to somewhere, whether it's YouTube, whether it's just like a cloud somewhere that holds all his thoughts, all his like innermost secrets, all his true feelings about things, his almost video diary, like what this is, right? So that I could hear it and be like reminded, yeah, that's my granddad. I would love to kind of see him as in his 20s, like, or in his teens even, just like talking about what he's up to and stuff like that, to see what he was going through, like to see his mindset at the time, to see what challenges he was going through when he was like transporting his family across continents, right? It would have been a fantastic mental journey to go on with him by watching these videos, right? And it's just a shame that the technology wasn't available for him to have that resource to like upload videos to somewhere, so I can kind of like see him now. Because think about it, like other than my memories, other than the pictures on my phone and my families and stuff like that, I don't have much to capture his essence. A picture is fantastic, we can see what they looked like, but to capture his energy, to capture his vibe, to capture his voice, to capture his like thoughts on the matter, I don't have many of those. I don't have any of those probably. And it's a real shame, because it would have been fantastic to know and to have that record to show like myself, my son, my son's son, that is his like great grandson, his great great grandson, and to keep that legacy like going and seeing where it all started. Obviously before him it was his dad, but the technology was so far off, I mean like it would never have happened, right? But maybe like diaries and stuff like that. But in terms of a video, like to actually connect with someone, to like imagine I'm looking at myself right now, but imagine that was my granddad, and I'm looking at my granddad in his eyes, and he's talking to me and he's smiling at me, and he's telling me like he's proud of like how his family's turned out and stuff like that, and all these different little like things that add into his life and make his life so like special and unique, right? And I'm experiencing with him because I can kind of hear his voice, I can hear what's going on in his mind, and like it's all live, it's all like being recorded, right? How incredible would that be? Do you know what I mean? If he could do that for his granddad or his dad even, just to understand, like, it would have been fantastic, right? That's a resource. It's a very sentimental resource for like everyone, like individually. Like, you wouldn't care about what my granddad would have to say, but I definitely do. And like my dad definitely does. And my son would want to, but he will never meet his great granddad. You see, it's very like bittersweet. And that is kind of the point of this video, because I'm recording this to really capture, and like all the videos I do is to capture my essence, so that when my son or my grandson, my great grandson want to know a little bit more about their dad, granddad, great granddad, they've got this collection here, and they can kind of refer back to it and tap in and see where my mind was at certain topics. What's interesting is, like, if you're seeing this right now, you're in that same boat. Like, male, female, it doesn't matter. You are in that same boat. You could be the first person in your entire bloodline up till now that is able or will capture their essence in video form, and so it can be shown to the rest of your legacy for the rest of time. Do you know how powerful a position this is? This is literally, you are literally the leaders of the rest of your bloodline. They'll be able to trace it back to you, and you will be literally one of the only people, the like last person far back that they can track, that they can actually hear their voice, hear their inflection, hear their, like, look at them, hear their thoughts on different topics and matters, and like really get to understand where they came from and who they are, like what they stand for, and it would give them a sense of belonging, perhaps, you know. It's just it's a very, very like fortunate thing we get to do these days, just by being born, just by being lucky enough to be born when we're born, because like none of us really like deserved this. We were just very lucky to be born this time. Imagine we were born one generation back when the video capabilities weren't there. Like, no one had an iPhone back then. If you wanted to do a video, it would probably cost you like £1 million to record like a 1 minute video back in 1920, whatever, right? It wasn't accessible for the average person, but now it is so accessible for the average person, it's ridiculous. So if you're not capturing your essence, or maybe you haven't thought about it in that way, watch this video. You're obviously watching this video, but like maybe this video inspires you to start doing that. And you don't have to post it like what I'm doing for like YouTube and stuff. You could just upload it to YouTube as private and send a link to your channel written in your will, for example, so that your family then get to see it after you're deceased. How incredible would that be? What a fantastic gift you would give them by doing that, because especially when someone's passed away, you wish you could have that conversation with them. You wish you could hear their voice again. You wish you could be like with them in their most innermost thoughts. Like, right, me in this room right now, right? There's no one else here. It's just me. Everyone in my house has gone to sleep. I can be as true and as vulnerable and authentic, like right now, as I'll ever probably be, right? I could be funny in certain moments, I can be angry, I can be passionate about anything right now, right? And I'm capturing it. But sometimes when you're in different audiences, like let's just say you're in the group of your family, for example, and then someone pulls out a camera, you know that awkward feeling you get when you're just like, why are you recording? Like, just turn the camera off, etc. Like, that subtle, like, having the camera put in your face stifles you. It will stop you from being your true self, because you're just like, I'm being filmed and stuff like that. But this is something like self-induced. I have purposely turned this on. I have purposely turned the mic on in order to capture my essence, my voice, my thoughts on the matter. And trust me, your family will wish that they could see this and hear the thoughts of their, perhaps your family see this, like your mum and dad see this, your grandparents see this. Perhaps something really bad happens to you, God forbid, and you pass away, for example. And they want to have that real, raw connection with you. But they just don't, because you haven't captured any like thoughts or anything like that on the matter, like your video diary journal in any form. Like, how tragic would that be when all your mum or dad wants to do is just see you and hear your voice again and hear you talk and have that like smile on your face, that expression, that like things that light you up. You're talking about things that are passionate to you, right? That's a fantastic gift you can give to your family. So I hope this video helps in inspiring you perhaps to do the same thing in terms of like recording, uploading, maybe not posting. If you want to post, fantastic, but just capture it and put something together so that if something does happen to you, you have told one person about it, for example, and or a couple of people about it, and so that your voice, your energy, your thoughts can be shared if you are no longer here with us.